Olivia Reed wrapped her slender coat more closely around herself, attempting to protect against the biting wind that sliced through the train station. Her children, Lucas, 5, and Liam, 8, nestled against her on the cold metal bench, their small forms finding comfort in her presence. 3 days had passed since they lost their last rent money, and the station stood as their only refuge. "Mommy, I'm hungry," Lucas mumbled as he stirred awake. "Sure, we'll eat something soon, darling." Olivia gently stroked her son's hair, fighting back the lump in her throat. In her bag, only a handful of coins remained, barely enough for a loaf of bread. In a penthouse office overlooking the sprawling city, Liam Carter meticulously adjusted his Italian silk tie in front of the mirror. Below him lay a playground he had significantly influenced through his real estate ventures. At the age of 35, he had managed to double his father's already substantial wealth. "Mr. Carter, the demolition team is poised and ready for your signal at the East Side project," his assistant conveyed through the intercom. "Inform them I'll arrive in 20 minutes. Liam snatched his cashmere coat, his mind racing with visions of the opulent apartments that would soon take the place of the aging train station complex. The morning greeted him as he confidently walked through the station's main hall, accompanied by contractors and security personnel. The area had to be vacated by squatters prior to the commencement of demolition. It was at that moment he caught sight of her. A woman struggled to collect her children and belongings while a security guard forcefully urged them toward the exit. "You can't stay here anymore," the guard shouted. "This is private property now." There was something about the woman's dignity, even in her desperation, that made Liam pause. She stood resolute, not pleading or weeping, simply embracing her children tightly, her chin lifted high in defiance of her situation. As their gazes locked from opposite ends of the hall, Liam Carter, a man accustomed to acquiring anything he desired, experienced an inexplicable sensation that momentarily unsettled him. "Hold on," he found himself saying, catching everyone off guard, himself included. The word resonated in the almost deserted station, reverberating against the lofty ceilings and polished marble floors, connecting two realms that were never intended to meet. "I don't need your pity," Olivia declared with conviction, though her hands shook as she collected her battered backpack. Liam Jr., her older son, shot a fierce glare at the tall man clad in an expensive coat, instinctively stepping in front of his mother to shield her from the stranger. "It's not pity," Liam replied, keeping his distance. "Think of it as a business proposition. I require details about this region, and you evidently possess a deep understanding of it." He felt uncertain about why he was justifying his willingness to assist her, yet there was something in her gaze, a haunting familiarity of sorrow, that anchored him in place. "We're fine on our own," she insisted, yet Lucas's violent shiver revealed the truth behind her words. Liam took out his phone, conscious of his employees observing the peculiar exchange. "There's a hotel 2 blocks from here. I will arrange for a room to be prepared for you and your children, just for tonight." "So what's the twist?" Olivia inquired, her tone laced with doubt. "No catch. Tomorrow, if you're open to it, I would love to hear your insights about this neighborhood, the people, the community." He was thinking on his feet, yet it somehow resonated. "Naturally, you'd be compensated for your time." Olivia glanced at her son, Lucas, whose face was pale, and at Liam Jr., whose expression was a mix of determination and fatigue. Pride was one thing, yet her children's well-being took precedence. One night, she consented with hesitation, and the hotel staff's eyes widened as they entered. Olivia, dressed in her worn clothes and holding her children's hands, was followed by Liam Carter himself. He seldom dealt with such situations personally, but an inexplicable force drove him to see this through. "The presidential suite," he stated to the manager, disregarding the man's surprised look. "Mr. Carter, I don't require," Olivia began to object. "It's the only room available on such short notice," he said with a practiced ease. "The restaurant will provide whatever you require. Just put it on the room charge." As they ascended in the elevator, Liam observed how Olivia maintained her space, placing herself between him and her children. A clever woman, careful in her demeanor, yet there was an elusive quality about her that tugged at his recollection. The door to the suite swung open, unveiling an opulent space larger than many apartments. Lucas surveyed the room, his eyes sparkling with enthusiasm, though he made an effort to keep it in check. Liam Jr., now taller and more reserved, stepped inside with caution. "Thank you," Olivia replied stiffly, remaining in the doorway. "I'll arrange for someone to bring up some essentials," Liam remarked, already tapping away on his phone to message his assistant. "Take a moment to recharge. We can talk tomorrow." He walked away, the door closing firmly behind him. In the elevator, he relaxed his tie, contemplating what had driven him to get entangled in this situation. He had appointments to keep, contracts to finalize, yet here he found himself stepping in as a protector for a homeless woman and her children. That look in her eyes, it was familiar, haunting even, and now it clung to him, refusing to fade away. Returning to his office, Liam found it impossible to concentrate on his tasks. His thoughts lingered on Olivia and her kids, especially the name of the older boy, Liam. It seemed like something beyond mere chance. He flipped open his laptop and started his quest for information. "Olivia Reed," he whispered, fingers dancing across the keys. The findings compelled him to straighten his posture. 5 years prior, her husband Ryan Reed had disappeared without a trace. The case had garnered local headlines for a short time before slipping into obscurity, but what piqued his interest was the subsidiary company of Ryan Reed's former employer, Carter Development Group. "Sarah," he called to his assistant via the intercom, "please pull up the executive reports on all employees involved in the River Heights project from 2020 and retrieve the legal department's file on internal complaints from that time." Moments later, a dossier appeared on his screen. Liam scrolled through it, his stomach churning. The name Ryan Reed loomed large, a specter from the past. "Dad," Liam said into his phone, his tone sharper than usual. "Clarify this. Immediately. Why are you delving into the past?" Richard Carter's tone was cutting. "His wife and children are currently resting in the presidential suite at the Grand Hotel." A lengthy silence ensued. "Keep your distance from them, Liam." What occurred to him, Dad? Some questions are better left unanswered. The connection was lost. Liam reclined, a wave of memories washing over him. The River Heights project. Whispers of corruption had circulated, tales of shortcuts taken, and a shadowy figure threatening to unveil it all. Then, without warning, the whistleblower vanished, and the project continued without a hitch. His phone vibrated, revealing a message from the hotel. Olivia and her children had placed an order for dinner, simple fare. Soup, sandwiches, and milk for the little ones. Even in opulence, she maintained her humility. He delved deeper into articles regarding Ryan's vanishing. The authorities discovered his vehicle left behind by the river, yet no remains were ever located. Olivia found herself stripped of everything, her accounts locked, her assets ensnared in a web of legal uncertainty. Mr. Carter's concentration was broken by his assistant's voice. "Your father is here." Richard Carter burst into the room, his expression dark and stormy. "I instructed you to let it be. Did you orchestrate his demise?" Liam inquired softly. "Don't ask questions you don't want answered." The chill in his father's voice was unmistakable. "That woman and her children, they don't concern you. They turned into my concern when I understood that our company had shattered their lives. We have constructed a vast legacy, my child. At times, that calls for tough choices." Liam rose to confront his father. "Difficult decisions? Is that what we're labeling murder these days?" "Tread carefully," Richard cautioned. "You've gained from every tough choice I've made." As his father departed, Liam gazed at the twinkling city lights beneath. He had always been aware that their affluence was accompanied by darkness. But this? Once more, his phone vibrated with a notification. The hotel security confirmed that Olivia and her children were comfortably settled in for the night. He grasped his phone, only to place it back down moments later. What could he possibly express to her at this moment? The following morning, Liam sat in the hotel restaurant, observing Olivia assist Lucas in slicing his pancakes, while Liam Jr. eagerly consumed his scrambled eggs. She had taken advantage of the hotel's shower and borrowed some simple attire that the concierge had provided. Even in plain clothing, she exuded a certain grace. "You didn't have to join us?" Olivia remarked as she spotted him coming closer. "I wanted to," he replied, taking a seat while maintaining a respectful distance. "How did you sleep?" "Better than we have in months," she confessed. "However, we ought to leave shortly. We've already placed enough of a burden." Liam Jr. observed Liam Carter, his tone more composed than earlier. "Mom's correct. We don't require charity. All we seek is an equitable opportunity." "Actually," Liam said, selecting his words with precision, "I have a proposition. There's a furnished apartment in one of our buildings. It's available for the next 3 months until renovations commence. You could remain here, assisting us in grasping the needs of the community. What is your true motivation for helping us?" Olivia inquired straightforwardly. Liam paused, a sense of remorse eating away at him. "Perhaps I'm attempting to atone for previous errors. Your mistakes or someone else's?" Her gaze was keen, perceptive. Before he could respond, Lucas accidentally knocked over his orange juice. Olivia swiftly reached for napkins, and Liam instinctively joined in to help clean up. Their hands touched momentarily, and both recoiled as if startled. "The apartment," she remarked after a pause. "No strings attached?" "None. Just let me help." That afternoon, Liam guided them through the apartment. It was humble by his standards, yet to Lucas, it felt like a grand estate as he dashed from room to room, brimming with enthusiasm. "It's nice," Lucas murmured, casting a glance at his mother. "Way better than the station." Liam Jr. stayed wary, but he couldn't mask his relief at finally having a real roof over their heads. "Thank you," Olivia said softly, standing by the window. "But you still haven't told me why." Liam observed her silhouette framed by the warm afternoon glow. How could he express that every glance at her revealed the repercussions of his family's past? "Sometimes," he said with caution, "we encounter individuals who inspire us to improve ourselves." She turned to face him, and for a fleeting moment, the atmosphere was thick with an unspoken connection. "Mom!" Lucas shouted from the other room. "Can we please stay?" Olivia's gaze remained fixed on Liam. "Indeed," she replied. "We can stay." As Liam exited the apartment that evening, the sound of laughter from the boys filled the air, a melody that likely hadn't graced the space in months. He ought to have felt a sense of satisfaction in assisting them. Instead, the burden of his family's secrets weighed heavily on his mind. The phone vibrated with a sudden buzz. Yet another communication from his father. "Avoid forming attachments. Remember where your loyalties lie." Liam deleted the message without a reply. For the first time in his life, he felt uncertain about where his loyalties truly belonged. The next day at the office, Liam delved deeper into the company archives. He had dismissed his assistant for the day and turned off the security cameras, an unprecedented move for him. His hands shook as he typed in his father's secret password, one he had unearthed long ago but had never summoned the courage to employ. The files lay hidden, deep within the system, yet they were present. Emails, meeting minutes, financial transfers, a calculated effort to suppress Ryan Reed. "Sir." The voice of the night security guard crackled through the intercom, startling him. "Someone has arrived to meet you, an Olivia Reed." Liam swiftly shut the files. "Send her up." She emerged in his doorway, appearing transformed in the evening light, more vulnerable yet somehow more resilient. "I was unable to find rest," she remarked. "There's an inconsistency in all of this. What would motivate someone like you to assist a person like me? Is that you, Olivia?" He motioned toward a chair, yet she chose to stay on her feet. "Today, a memory surfaced. Your company was part of the River Heights project, the very same one Ryan was engaged in when he..." She paused, swallowing hard at the memory of his disappearance. Liam felt a dryness in his throat. On his computer screen, minimized yet still accessible, lay the incriminating documents. "Tell me the truth," she insisted. "What do you know?" He rose gradually, circling his desk. "I have been exploring it. There are revelations I have just unearthed." "Show me." His hand lingered above the mouse, poised for action. A single click could alter the course of everything. "Do you truly wish to uncover the truth? For 5 long years, I've been in turmoil, observing my children endure pain. I must find out." He began to sift through the files. Together they sifted through the evidence of conspiracy, threats, and the hush money exchanged to silence others. Olivia's hands clenched the desk, her knuckles paling. "Your father," she murmured. "This was ordered by him." "Absolutely." The word lingered on his tongue, dry and bitter like ash. "And you?" Her voice trembled. "Were you aware?" "Not at that moment. I had just discovered it." "Olivia, I promise." "Stop!" She recoiled as though scorched. 5 years. 5 years, Liam. I laid him to rest. I mourned his loss. And throughout this entire time, her breath was uneven. I found myself in solitude. Liam struggled to contain his emotions as he recalled the moment when his children believed their father was gone. "I understand." "No, you don't." She turned away, her fingers clutching the back of a chair for support. "You can't possibly grasp the impact that had on us." "No, I mean yes, partly, but what? You believed you could purchase my forgiveness, compensate for the ruin of my family?" "There's more," he interjected swiftly. "Ryan, I don't believe he's gone." She stood still. "What?" "The final payment. It wasn't meant for quietude. The purpose was for moving to a new location. A new identity." He retrieved another document. "He is still with us, Olivia. Somewhere in Montana." She gazed at the screen, tears flowing down her cheeks. "All this time, he was still among us? He has departed from us? Abandoned his children? He may have believed he was safeguarding you. By making us homeless." Her voice escalated. "By allowing his children to believe he was gone." She spun around and dashed out of the office. Liam began to trail behind, then hesitated. What authority did he possess to offer her solace when his family had inflicted such hurt upon her? On his desk, the phone glowed with yet another message from his father. "You're making a mistake, son." For the first time, Liam felt an unwavering certainty in his choice. Olivia didn't come back to the apartment that night. When Liam rushed home in a frenzy, he discovered only Liam Jr. keeping watch over a peacefully sleeping Lucas. "Where is your mother?" he inquired, making an effort to maintain a calm tone. "Why do you care?" The boy's eyes glistened with unshed tears. She revealed everything. "About Dad. About your family." Liam sank heavily onto the couch. "I'm trying to make things right." "You can't." Liam Jr.'s voice trembled. "You can't mend what your family shattered." The jingle of keys in the door caused them both to glance over. Olivia stepped inside, her cheeks glistening with tears yet maintaining a sense of poise. "I needed to walk," she said softly. "To think." Her gaze met Liam's. "You should go. Not until I know you're all right." "All right?" She let out a harsh laugh. "My husband left us, prioritized wealth over his family. And your father was the one who brought it to life." "But Dad's alive," Liam Jr. exclaimed unexpectedly. "We can find him, can't we?" The optimism in his voice caused Olivia to recoil. She nestled beside her son, drawing him near. "Would you want to?" Liam inquired with caution. "Find him? I'm not sure." Olivia gently ran her fingers through her son's hair. "He made his decision 5 years prior. But now we understand the reality," Liam asserted. "I possess valuable resources, connections. We might." "We?" Olivia interrupted him. "There is no unity here, Mr. Carter. Your family has shattered mine. Any kindness you've displayed was founded on deception. Not deception, he argued. I was unaware. When I assisted you at the station, when I provided you with this place, that was genuine. Was it? Or were you merely attempting to soothe your conscience? Before he could respond, his phone vibrated. A message from his private investigator. Found him, Ryan read, laboring as a ranch hand under the name Michael Stevens. Olivia noticed the shift in his demeanor. What is it? I know where he is. Exactly where? The room fell silent, a tension hanging in the air. Lucas stirred in his sleep, mumbling something about pancakes. Please share with me, Olivia said at last. Join me, Liam said. We can take off tomorrow. Face him together. Together. She shook her head. Why would I trust you? For, in spite of all that has transpired, you understand that my words hold truth now. And due to, he paused. Because I care about what happens to you, to all of you. Olivia glanced at her sleeping son, then turned her gaze to Liam Jr., who was observing the conversation closely. If we proceed with this, she said deliberately, it's not for you, it's for them. They deserve answers. Mom, Liam Jr.'s voice was barely a whisper. I want to see him. Olivia shut her eyes, inhaling deeply. All right, we'll proceed. But once this is over, once we locate him, we're finished. No further assistance. No more entanglement with your family. Liam nodded, suppressing the hurt her words inflicted. I'll make the arrangements. As he exited the apartment, he caught Liam Jr. asking his mother, Are we going to get our dad back? The question lingered, unanswered. The private jet sliced through the clouds while Olivia gazed out the window, her children peacefully asleep in the plush seats beside her. Liam sat across the aisle, feigning concentration on his laptop while stealing glances at her. Stop watching me, she said, her gaze fixed elsewhere. Apologies. He shut his laptop. Are you prepared for this? Shall we face the man who left us behind? The individual your father compensated to vanish? At last, she turned her gaze toward him. How does anyone prepare for that? We could just turn back. No. Her tone was resolute. My children require this. I require this. The aircraft glided down towards Bozeman, Montana. A dark SUV lingered on the tarmac. Liam's investigator revealed that Ryan, who is now known as Michael Stevens, was employed at the Thunder Creek Ranch, located roughly an hour's drive from here. He's not expecting us, Liam said as they navigated the winding roads of the mountainous terrain. We don't have to do this today. Yes, we do. Olivia's fingers brushed against the manila envelope resting in her lap, filled with copies of all the documents that laid bare the conspiracy. Just before doubt could take hold, the ranch came into view, sprawling and beautiful. A figure was repairing fences in the distance. That's him, Olivia murmured. Ryan appeared transformed, sun-kissed and robust from hard work, his dark hair now laced with strands of gray. He pivoted at the noise of their vehicle and stood still. Stay here, Olivia instructed the children. But Liam Jr. was already swinging his door open. Dad, he shouted. Ryan let his tools clatter to the ground, his face losing all semblance of color. Liam, Olivia. Hello, Ryan, Olivia said, her voice sharp and frosty. Or do you go by Michael now? You really shouldn't be here, Ryan said, his eyes darting around nervously. It's not secure. Secure? Olivia tossed the envelope down at his feet. We know everything, the payoff, the relocation, every detail of how you chose money over your family. I did it to protect you, Ryan insisted, his voice strained and weary. Yet, my gaze remained unwavering. I dispatched letters, cloaked in secrecy, without revealing my identity. You never received them. Olivia's breath caught in her throat. Correspondence to the refuge on Pine Street, to the local community hub. I also sent money through intermediaries. When I spotted you at the station that night, it hit me. I had let you down. Did my father threaten you? Liam advanced. Who are you? I want answers, Ryan insisted. Liam Carter. Ryan staggered backward. You brought someone like Carter here? Are you out of your mind? He's the one who guided us to you, Olivia said. The only one who revealed the truth. Dad, Liam Jr. called out. Why didn't you bring us along? The straightforward inquiry appeared to shatter something within Ryan. He fell to his knees, extending his arms toward his son. However, Liam Jr. took a step back. I was a coward, Ryan whispered. I convinced myself you were better off without me. We weren't, Olivia said softly. We weren't better off at all. Inside Ryan's modest ranch house, the tension hung heavy in the air. Lucas sat on the floor, engrossed in a toy horse that Ryan had gifted him, while Liam Jr. lingered near his mother, casting furtive looks at the father he had believed to be gone. I've saved money, Ryan said, sliding a stack of papers across the kitchen table. Everything I earned here. It's all for you and the boys. We don't want your money, Olivia replied. We want to know why, the real reason. Ryan's gaze shifted to Liam, who was positioned by the window. Your father. He shared some photos with me of Olivia and the boys at school. It would truly be unfortunate if anything were to occur to them. So you ran, Liam said, his tone devoid of emotion. I accepted the offer. A fresh start. A fresh beginning. Consistent payments as long as I remained silent about the construction fraud. Ryan's hands shook. I believed I was protecting them. Protecting. Olivia leaned in closer. Are you aware of our sleeping arrangements? Train stations. Shelters. All because you vanished and our funds were locked. I left money, which the banks retained when you were reported missing. God. Ryan, did you actually consider anything? Liam Jr. suddenly interjected. Did you miss us? The inquiry lingered, suspended in the atmosphere. Ryan's eyes brimmed with tears. Every day, he murmured. Every single day. Then why didn't you check on us? The boy insisted. Why didn't you ensure our safety? Because he was afraid, Liam replied softly. Just like my father was a coward, he said, threatening families instead of facing consequences. Ryan stood abruptly. You have no right to judge me, Carter. Your family is the reason for all of this. You're right. Liam held his gaze firmly. And I'm working to set things straight. That's more than what you've accomplished. Enough, you two, Olivia interjected. This isn't helping. Lucas glanced up from his toy, feeling the unease in the air. Mommy, can we go home now? Home? Ryan inquired. Remain in this place. Each and every one of you. The ranch owner requires assistance and there's ample room. Absolutely not. Olivia spoke with conviction. We're not hiding here with you, Ryan. Our children deserve better than a life built on lies. Then what do you want? I want. Olivia glanced at her children, then at Liam before turning back to Ryan. I want you to face what you did. Return. Speak the truth about the deception. Assist in rectifying the situation. They'll take me in. I'll assist, Liam replied. My father's the true culprit here. Your words could lead to his downfall. Ryan slumped back into his chair. And then what? Then, Olivia said softly, we see if there's anything left to rebuild. Outside, the Montana sun was setting, casting the sky in hues of orange and pink. Inside, a family torn apart by fear and corruption confronted the initial, painful steps toward healing. Later that evening, Olivia sat on the balcony of their suite, observing the Montana mountains gradually disappear into the night. The children lay peacefully asleep, worn out from the day's emotional toll. Ryan had vowed to consider the possibility of returning, of testifying, yet it was not his choice that lingered heavily in her thoughts. Liam stood in the doorway, 2 cups of coffee in hand, offering a simple gesture of support, thinking she might need this. Thanks. She took the cup, feeling the fleeting touch of his fingers against hers. Why are you still here? Because I don't trust my father not to try something when he learns Ryan's been found. That's not what I meant. He settled into the chair beside her. I know. They lingered in silence, the coffee cooling in their grasp. At last, Olivia broke the stillness. I feel something for you, she confessed, and it fills me with dread, due to my very essence, due to our identities. A woman without a home and a man with immense wealth. It's reminiscent of a poorly written romance novel. Liam offered a faint smile. I like to view it as a well-crafted one. Please be serious, she admonished. Ryan wants to return to make another attempt, for the sake of the kids. And what is it that you desire? Olivia rose, making her way to the balcony railing. I desire happiness for my children, a sense of stability, and to have their father return. But I am no longer the woman Ryan departed from. That Olivia perished in a train station somewhere, striving to keep her children warm. Liam approached her at the rail, mindful not to stand too near. You have grown stronger now. Am I? Because at this moment, I feel pulled in every direction. She turned to face him. Ryan feels like home, a comforting presence. He's the father of my children. And I'm the son of the man who ruined your lives. Yes, but you're also the man who stopped to help us, who cared enough to find the truth. Her voice dropped to a whisper. Who makes me feel alive again. From inside the suite, they heard Lucas cry out in his sleep. Olivia instinctively drifted toward the sound, yet Liam grasped her hand firmly. Whatever you choose, he said gently, I'll honor it. But don't make your choice based on what you believe you ought to do. Select what brings you joy. She withdrew her hand softly. Happiness feels like a distant dream at the moment. My children take precedence. And if Ryan comes back, testifies, then I give my children their father back. She moved toward the door, then hesitated. Even if my heart desires something different. Liam observed her departure, the heaviness of unexpressed emotions lingering in the air. Far off, a coyote cried out to the moon, echoing the solitude and disorientation he experienced in that instant. His phone buzzed, yet another menacing message from his father. But this time he felt indifferent to the empire he risked losing. What truly mattered was finding a way to escape and pursue what she believed was just. Richard Carter's office dominated the entire top floor of Carter Tower, a clear reflection of his authority and sway. As Liam entered without knocking, he found his father engaged in a phone call, skillfully managing yet another deal, another life hanging in the balance. We need to talk, Liam declared, placing a hefty folder on his father's desk. Richard raised a single finger, maintaining his conversation. Liam extended his hand and pressed the disconnect button. Have you completely lost your senses? Richard demanded. I located Ryan Reed, and I possess all the evidence. The threats, the payoffs, the deceit at River Heights. Richard's expression grew stern. Whatever you believe you possess is already with the FBI. Liam took a seat, loosening his tie. It's finished, Dad. You foolish boy. Richard loomed over the desk. Do you even grasp the magnitude of your actions? Everything I created was founded on deceit and intimidation. How many other lives have you shattered? How many more like Ryan Reed exist in this world? The office door swung open with force. Federal agents surged forward, commanded by a resolute woman clad in a dark suit. Richard Carter, she declared. You're under arrest for fraud, corruption, and conspiracy. Richard's complexion deepened to a vivid shade of purple. You are no longer my son. No, Liam conceded, observing as the agents secured his father in handcuffs. I'm striving to become something greater. Outside the office, reporters had already assembled. Headlines would blare about the corruption within the Carter empire, detailing the wayward son who led to his father's downfall. Yet, Liam had one final destination to reach. He discovered Olivia in the apartment he had provided for her, gazing at the news with an expression of astonishment. You accomplished it, she murmured. Ryan's testimony confirmed everything. He'll receive immunity for his cooperation. And what about you? Your company? The board is convening tomorrow. I might be ousted as CEO, he said, managing a faint smile. It seems that revealing decades of corruption isn't exactly beneficial for business. I apologize. Refrain from doing so. For the first time in my life, I feel a sense of pride in who I am. Olivia stepped forward, closing the distance. What comes next is entirely in your hands. Ryan has returned. Your kids have their dad. And he took a deep breath. I ought to take a step back. Is that truly what you desire? What I wanted ceased to hold significance the moment I understood the true essence of my family. From the bedroom, the laughter of the boys mingled with Ryan's voice, a melody of a family mending. They deserve this opportunity, Olivia murmured gently, to have their father back. Liam nodded, glancing toward the door. This was the right choice, even if it felt as though his heart was being ripped from his chest. Liam? Olivia shouted as he walked away. He halted, yet refrained from looking back. He found it unbearable to look at her face. Thank you. For everything. He stepped out, gently shutting the door behind him. His phone vibrated in his pocket with more updates regarding his father's arrest. Yet his mind was consumed by the echoes of laughter from the home he was departing and the life that might have unfolded. A month after Richard Carter's arrest, Olivia found herself in her newly rented apartment, observing her children as they tackled their homework at the kitchen table. Ryan had secured a position at a nearby construction firm, genuine employment this time, and was gradually mending his bond with the boys through weekend visits and school pickups. Mom, Liam Jr. called out. Did you catch the news about Mr. Carter? She had. The board decided to keep Liam as CEO following his presentation of a comprehensive restructuring plan centered on ethical development and community investment. The business community hailed it as a masterclass in crisis management. I saw, she said quietly. Dad says we ought to express our gratitude to him, Lucas chimed in, for assisting us in locating Dad. Your father's right. Olivia glanced at her phone, her eyes fixed on Liam's number. It had been a silence since that final day she had spoken to him. A chime echoed through the air as the doorbell announced its presence. Ryan arrived promptly for his evening visit, standing outside with anticipation. Hey, he said, embracing the boys. Are you prepared for pizza night? Once the children collected their belongings, Ryan stayed behind for a moment. Can we talk? Olivia nodded, stepping onto the small balcony with him. I've been thinking, Ryan said, gazing out at the city. About us. Ryan, allow me to complete my thought. In these recent weeks, being back and seeing you, I hoped we could resume from where we paused. But that's not possible. Is it possible for us to do that? Olivia rested against the railing. No. Because of him? Because of it all. The years transformed us both, Ryan acknowledged thoughtfully. I noticed the way you gaze at him on television. It's reminiscent of how you once looked at me. I'm sorry. Don't be. You kept our family alive when I fled. You deserve happiness. He placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. Even if it means being with a Carter. Meanwhile, the boys were growing restless inside. Dad, we're hungry. Go, Olivia replied. Enjoy your pizza night. Once they departed, she found herself alone in the stillness of the apartment. The television displayed a business channel featuring Liam as he unveiled a new affordable housing initiative. He appeared weary yet resolute. Her phone weighed heavily in her hand. One call could alter the course of everything. But was it just to him, to her children, to the delicate equilibrium they had all established? The response lay in Lucas's drawing resting on the table, a family portrait. There stood Ryan, herself, the boys, and off to the side, a tall figure in a suit that could only be Liam. Out of the mouths of babes, she mused, and finally made the call. Olivia, his voice carried a note of surprise. Ambiguous. The boys miss you, she said gently. I'm not quite sure what that means yet. Liam paused thoughtfully. Neither do I, she breathed out, her grip on the phone growing firmer. I require some time. I must determine whether this is genuine or if we are merely pursuing what once was. Take all the time you need, he said softly. I'm not going anywhere. The restaurant was unassuming, a quaint Italian spot Olivia had found during her more challenging moments. She would linger outside, observing families through the glass, yearning for the day she could indulge in a meal within those walls. She found herself seated opposite Liam, who, despite his expensive suit, seemed a bit out of his element yet entirely comfortable in her presence. No five-star restaurant? He teased, glancing at the menu. I thought you might enjoy something genuine for a change. Their gazes locked over the flickering candlelight, and an unspoken tension filled the space around them. The board meeting was intense today, he remarked, shifting the topic. We're dismantling half of my father's old projects, returning land to communities, and establishing compensation funds. Feeling remorse? About removing my father? No. He extended his hand toward the glass of water. Regarding the delay in reaching out to you? Maybe. I needed time, Olivia said, to figure out who I am now, who we all are. And have you figured it out? Before she had the chance to respond, her phone vibrated. A message from Ryan accompanied by a picture of the boys at the pizza place, both beaming with sauce-smeared faces. They seem joyful, Liam remarked, looking at the picture. Indeed they are. Ryan's making an effort, truly making an effort. She set the phone aside. But they inquire about you as well. I miss them, he said, taking a moment to gather his thoughts. I long for your presence. Liam, she inhaled deeply. If we proceed with this, whatever it may be, it certainly won't be straightforward. There's Ryan, the children, your business, the media. I understand. People will have their say. They might claim I'm only after your wealth or that you're attempting to alleviate your conscience. Let them speak. The waiter brought their food, simple pasta dishes that steamed in the soft glow of the candlelight. My life isn't glamorous, she continued. It's school runs and homework help and frozen dinners when I'm too tired to cook. Sounds perfect, she studied his face, looking for any sign of hesitation. Would you truly desire that, considering all that's happened? Olivia, he said gently, I've lived in luxury and high-stakes meetings, always among those who sought to gain from me. Yet, the moments of true joy I've experienced were when I assisted your son with his math homework in that short-term apartment. She sensed tears on the verge of spilling and quickly blinked them back. We'd have to take it slow. We can take our time, and I hope you can appreciate that my children will always be my top priority. I wouldn't want it any other way. She took a bite of her pasta, letting the familiar flavors ground her. When she looked up again, Liam was watching her with such tenderness, it made her heart ache. So he said, what happens now? Olivia reached across the table and took his hand. It wasn't a storybook conclusion. Those simply didn't happen in reality. But perhaps, just perhaps, it was something greater, a new dawn. Now, she said, squeezing his hand, we figure it out together. Time felt like it stretched and contracted in the weeks that followed. Liam immersed himself in transforming Carter Enterprises, working late into the night to restructure deals, and meticulously reviewing old contracts. The accolades from the media celebrated his journey, from privileged heir to corporate reformer. Yet in the solitude of his penthouse office, he was left with a sense of emptiness. His phone would illuminate with messages from Olivia, pictures of the boys at school events, brief updates about their day. Each message opened a glimpse into the life he had nearly embraced. On one particular evening, his assistant broke into a board meeting. Mr. Carter, Ryan Reed is here to see you. Liam discovered Ryan in the lobby, appearing uneasy in a poorly fitting suit. Great workspace, Ryan remarked, surveying the surroundings. Quite formal. What brings you here? Olivia mentioned your dinner. Ryan adjusted his stance. About what nearly transpired, Liam's jaw clenched. That's a matter for us to handle privately. Is it? Because my kids are involved, too. Ryan stepped closer. Look, I know I have no right to ask anything of you, but those boys have been through enough change. I would never cause them any harm. Not on purpose. Yet, you're in the process of reconstructing an empire here. Where do they belong? Where does Olivia belong? Liam approached the window, gazing out at the city he aimed to transform. I love them, he said softly. I understand. That's why I'm here. Ryan's reflection emerged next to him. Sometimes loving someone means letting them go. Is that what you did when you fled? I didn't run for any other reason. Fear drove me. You're stepping back because you understand the larger context. Outside, the sun dipped below the horizon, casting elongated shadows over the city. In one of those shadows, Olivia was likely assisting the boys with their homework or preparing dinner. Tell her, Liam's voice faltered. Tell her I understand now. Ryan nodded and began to walk away, but hesitated at the door. In an alternate reality, you would have been a positive influence on them. After Ryan departed, Liam remained in his dimly lit office, perusing old messages from Olivia. Finally, he composed one final message. You deserve a straightforward joy, one free from complexities or attention. I appreciate you revealing the true essence of love to me. Look after those boys. He pressed send, then erased her number, before he had the chance to reconsider. That evening, he toiled longer than normal, sketching out ideas for a new charitable foundation. He would choose a name that subtly honored her, not overtly, but in a manner she would understand if she ever came across it. It would assist families in distress, ensuring that no more children would have to spend the night in train stations. It wasn't the joyful conclusion he had hoped for, but perhaps it was the fitting resolution. Sometimes love required making the difficult decision, even when your heart protested vehemently. In his pocket, his phone lay still. Somewhere in the city, a family was mending, discovering their path back to normalcy. And here, in his tower of glass and steel, a man discovered that at times, the strongest action you can take is to simply walk away. 6 months went by. Liam's foundation had already assisted dozens of families in securing housing and achieving stability. He perused every success story, seeking a glimmer of tranquility in the positive impact he was making. On a rainy Tuesday, he found himself strolling by the train station where it all started. The old building had undergone renovation rather than demolition, transformed into a community center featuring temporary housing units. Mr. Carter. He turned to see Liam Jr. running toward him, his backpack bouncing. The boy had grown taller, his face losing some of its childhood softness. Hey kid. Liam's throat tightened. How are you? I'm good. Dad's showing me the ropes of baseball. What about Mom? He hesitated. Mom misses you. Before Liam could respond, Olivia appeared around the corner, umbrella in hand. She halted abruptly upon seeing him. I thought we had a pact to wait by the door, she said to her son. Yet her gaze was fixed on Liam. Apologies. I encountered Mr. Carter and... It's all good. She offered a faint smile. How have you been, Liam? Excellent. Busy. He gestured to the renovated station. The foundation's doing well. I understand. The Reed Foundation for Families in Crisis. Subtle. He shrugged, trying to ignore how his heart raced at her proximity. Felt right. Mom, Liam Jr. interjected. Is Mr. Carter able to attend my game on Saturday? Dad's going to be there, too. I don't think. They both started at the same time. Could you please? Dad said it was okay. He mentioned that sometimes adults complicate things more than necessary. Olivia raised an eyebrow. Did he now? He's right, Liam said softly. We certainly made it complicated. The rain poured down more fiercely, pounding against Olivia's umbrella. Liam Jr. glanced back and forth between them. Hope etched upon his features. Just one baseball game, Olivia finally declared. But we need to have a conversation first. A real conversation. Coffee, Liam proposed, gesturing towards the quaint cafe on the other side of the street. Now. He gestured towards the station that had been transformed into a community center. It feels appropriate, doesn't it? This is where it all started. Liam Jr. flashed a grin. I'll shoot Dad a text to let him know I'll be late for practice. As they strolled toward the cafe, Liam sensed a change stirring within him. He had attempted to act with honor, stepping back to allow them the room they needed to recover. But perhaps Ryan had a point. Maybe they had all tangled things up more than necessary. At times, love required making the difficult decision. But sometimes, he realized, the more challenging decision was to give yourself the chance to begin anew. So, Olivia said as they nestled into a cozy corner booth, tell me about this foundation of yours. Outside, the rain persisted, washing the city anew, presenting an opportunity for the old to transform into something fresh once more. 3 years had gone by. The Reed Foundation had established itself as one of the city's most esteemed charitable organizations, and Liam had embraced his new position as both CEO and public advocate for corporate responsibility. His father's empire had evolved into something he could finally take pride in. He sat in his favorite cafe, the quaint spot across from the old train station, when the bell above the door chimed. Olivia entered, her hair now shorter, clad in a business suit that hinted at her new role at the Foundation's Family Services Division. She halted in her tracks at the sight of him, coffee cup poised midway to his lips. Of all the coffee shops in the city, she remarked with a subtle smile. I was just thinking about you, he confessed. The Wilson family received their keys today, the ones from the shelter. She took a seat without waiting for an invitation. That's wonderful. They slipped into a comfortable dialogue about the Foundation's initiatives, skillfully steering clear of personal topics, until Lucas burst through the door. Mom, I got the lead in the school play. He halted abruptly upon noticing Liam. Hello, Mr. Carter. Congratulations on the play, Liam said, observing how the boy had matured. How much he resembled his mother. Thanks. Lucas shifted uncomfortably. Are you planning to come and see it? Dad is. And Liam Jr., too, even if he acts like high school. Makes him too cool for middle school plays. Olivia and Liam shared a look, laden with unvoiced thoughts. I'd like that, Liam said with caution. If it's all right with your mom. It's all right, she replied gently. It's been long enough, hasn't it? Time had transformed each of them. Ryan had remarried, a kind kindergarten teacher who cherished his children as if they were her own. Liam Jr. began exploring colleges, discussing business programs and nonprofit management. And then there was Olivia. How's Daniel? Liam asked, referring to the Foundation's program director, who'd been taking Olivia to dinner lately. We decided to just be friends. She met his eyes. Some people are hard to measure up to. Lucas glanced between them, rolling his eyes in that uniquely teenage manner. I'm going to get a smoothie. You two might want to have a conversation. Once he departed, a silence enveloped them, more comfortable than awkward. We attempted to make the right choice, Olivia said at last, maintaining our distance, allowing everyone to heal. We did. And now, Liam reached across the table, taking her hand just as he had that night in the Italian restaurant years ago. Now perhaps we explore a different approach, something more straightforward. Like what? Like coffee, and school plays, and discovering the paths ahead. Outside, the city flowed in its ceaseless cadence. Beyond the station where their journey began, beyond the hotels and apartments that had embraced them, beyond all the spots that cradled their tale. I'd like that, Olivia said, squeezing his hand. I'd like that very much. The school auditorium buzzed with excitement on opening night. Liam sat between Olivia and Ryan's new wife, Sarah, watching Lucas transform into Romeo with surprising grace. In the row behind them, Liam Jr. feigned indifference while covertly capturing the entire performance on his phone. During intermission, Ryan made his way to Liam in the lobby. I never imagined we would find ourselves in this situation, Ryan remarked, passing him a cup of punch from the refreshment table. A middle school Shakespeare production? A family, however complicated it might be. Liam observed Olivia conversing with Sarah, both women sharing laughter over something Lucas had mentioned during his dramatic death scene. Are you all right with all this? Me? Ryan smiled. I forfeited my right to an opinion long ago, but if it matters at all, I believe the time has come. The children have grown up. Everyone has found their place. Perhaps the moment has truly arrived. After the performance, they all headed out for ice cream. A peculiar, beautiful, blended family celebrating Lucas's theatrical debut. Liam Jr. playfully ribbed his brother about the kissing scene while Sarah and Olivia chatted about the costumes. As the night came to a close, Liam found himself accompanying Olivia to her car. Stay for a while? She asked. The boys long for our chess matches. He paused briefly. I would enjoy that. In her apartment, after the boys had finally settled down for the night, they found themselves on the balcony, reminiscent of the countless evenings they had shared there in the past. The city stretched out before them, lights shimmering like distant stars. Do you ever wonder? Olivia asked. What might have unfolded if you hadn't turned your back that evening? Each day. And what now? Now I think maybe we needed that time to become who we are now. He turned to face her. I am no longer the man who took over an empire. You are not the same woman I met at the train station. Indeed, we have changed. She stepped closer. Perhaps that's a positive thing. Perhaps it is. The kiss, when it arrived, was both novel and reminiscent, like returning home after an extensive voyage. As they separated, Olivia leaned her forehead against his. No more walking away, she whispered. No more complications, he agreed. Only this, only us. Inside, they could hear the boys whispering, probably spying on them from the hallway. But for once, neither of them minded the audience. Sometimes love takes the long way around. Sometimes you have to lose everything to find what matters. And sometimes, if you're very lucky, you get a second chance to write your own ending. Stay, Olivia said simply, and this time Liam did. 1 year later, Liam stood at his office window, watching the sunset paint the city in shades of gold. On his desk sat a framed photo from Lucas's graduation, showcasing their entire unconventional family. Ryan and Sarah were there with their new baby, Liam Jr., dressed in his college freshman sweatshirt. Lucas proudly held his drama award, while Olivia looked beautiful in a blue dress, her hand linked with Liam's. His phone buzzed with a message from Olivia. The meeting extended beyond the expected time. Shall we reschedule dinner? Before he could respond, another message arrived. Unless you want to bring dinner here? Boys are asking for your famous pasta. He smiled, already reaching for his coat. The foundation's office was only a few blocks away, and he knew he'd find them all there. Olivia reviewing cases with her team, Lucas doing homework in the corner, Liam Jr. stopping by after his business classes to learn about nonprofit management. The security guard nodded as he passed through the lobby of the converted train station. Evening, Mr. Carter. Mrs. Reed is upstairs with the kids. He discovered them in the conference room. Documents scattered across the surface, food containers left behind in the shadows. Olivia glanced up as he walked in, her smile still causing his heart to race after all this time. I thought you had a board meeting, she remarked. Some things are more important, he said as he set his briefcase down. Assistance is required with those situations. Without fail. They collaborated closely as the sky grew dim outside, the boys sharing thoughts on how to support other families in distress. This had become their legacy now, not empires founded on deceit, but hope nurtured through empathy. Later that night, after the pastor had been made and homework completed, after Lucas had rehearsed his new monologue and Liam Jr. had shared his latest business school adventures, Liam and Olivia found themselves alone on their balcony. Do you have any regrets? He inquired, pulling her close with a gentle embrace. About us? Never. She leaned back against him. Approximately how long it took us to arrive here. Perhaps a handful. We required the adventure. He reminded her. Everything. Below, the city thrummed with vitality. Somewhere out there, other families were struggling, other stories were unfolding. But here, in this moment, their own story had found its rhythm. I love you, Olivia said simply. Not despite our past, but because of it. Liam kissed her temple, thinking of all the choices that had led them here, the good ones, the bad ones, the ones that had seemed impossible at the time. Are you ready to go inside? She asked. Lucas expressed his desire to rehearse his audition piece once more. Just one more minute, he said, keeping her close. Let's simply exist in this moment. As they gazed at the city lights, twinkling like stars, they found themselves precisely where they were meant to be. Not at the end of their story, but in the midst of a new chapter, one they were crafting together, day by day. Did you find joy in this tale of second chances and redemption? Tap that like button and share your thoughts on Liam and Olivia's journey. Their journey from a serendipitous encounter at a train station to discovering love within the complexities of family dynamics resonated with many. What effect did it have on you? I'd be curious to hear where you're tuning in from. Are you on Liam's side, or were you cheering for Ryan? We'd love to hear your insights in the comments below. Join us on this journey by subscribing to the channel for more heartfelt tales like this one, and remember to tap the notification bell to keep up with our latest releases. Let's create this narrative community together.